What's up guys, it's Mike with Shallow Reefing coming back at you with another video, and today is my 3-year update on my 200-gallon shallow reef. Let's jump into it. So what is new with the tank? Overall, not too much. I've added an extra gyre as you saw in some of the other videos, so now I have 2 of those J-bow gyres and my Octopulse 4s, and they're doing really well with the flow. The only problem I have is that I do kind of need to clean those gyres more often than what I do. So all my pumps are really clean and they're at some of the lowest settings right now, and they're still giving me amazing flow in the reef tank. Now one thing you might notice is that coral that I was working on with the STN has completely snapped off. You can kind of see right there. It is gone and already healed up because I put it. And it's kind of just sitting there on the rockwork because I have no idea where to put this thing. So my goal is to figure out if I should put it back there or if I should take some of those corals that I just got and start, redoing some of my acropora, because I have tons of sticks at the top and this scripts here is just taken over and I've cut it back multiple times. I'm thinking about replacing it and putting another coral in its place and just kind of dropping that coral over the side, because I do like the habitat that it provides. There's Dory photobombing me, but my Royal Grama lives back in this hydnophora right back in here, and it's a wonderful spot for fish to kind of just find some habitat, and the anthias do like hanging out back there. So my plan is if I can get this broken off, I could kind of throw it back in here and throw it over that ledge and kind of make like a dead skeletal structure that kind of just hides back there for the fish to kind of hide. One of the things I want to do is try to give my fish a little bit more habitat, because I am down about 2 anthias. I did have 5, and right now I only have 3. And I think it's a lot to do with the habitat. The fish are getting bigger, the corals are getting bigger, and it's kind of squeezing out the little areas for the fish. So one of the things I want to do is kind of like make like a fish hotel, fish habitat right there, because this rock structure's kind of been blah for about 3 years, and I kind of want to do something a little bit different with it. And for all those keen eye viewers, they can kind of tell that I've done some work over on this side. I've tried to make this more of like that acan garden here. I bought some more acans. They're kind of down in this area. Well, micromusa lords down here. I did have this dragon sulfavia in here, but it was getting stung by all these like sun-kissed bounce mushrooms. I know, having so many sun-kissed bounce mushrooms, horrible. But they were stinging the bejesus out of my dragon soul, which is like my favorite coral. So you can kind of see I got some little burnt edges right there. So I kind of rearranged them, put them back there, moved the micromusa around just a little bit back that way. And then I put the blastos in here because I was listening to Than, and Than from Tidal Gardens is like, you got to put these blastos like in the dark. So I've kind of moved all those. So we got the blastomusas, and then the these are the micromusa merletes or blastomusa merletes. Same with these guys here. So I'm kind of moving them back there, and then the dragon sulfavia frag is right in this area. But I'm not happy with this area right now. I need to figure out what to do with this. Maybe build this rock structure up and kind of put some more sticks in that area. So I'm probably going to give everyone a warning right now. If you're going to use that fauna marin program, your mushrooms are going to go bonkers. I have never seen mushroom growth like this. And this is me like fragging them, taking them out. I've like thrown all those like, I don't even know what you want to call them. I've heard them called like psychedelic broccoli. I don't know. All those mushrooms have just gone crazy. I've literally kalkwasser pasted all these mushrooms in here, and they've just like come back with a vengeance. And I've even stopped using all the broadcast feeding for the mushrooms, but they're just still going like crazy now. I can't believe all this growth is just nuts. And this is my Euphyllia corner, so you can kind of tell I definitely moved some stuff around so that, toxic green frog spawn is in the back. You got that Peach King octo spawn, another octo spawn, hammer, another hammer. These are going nuts, and they have absolutely killed my Jedi mind trick in there. But this is a really nice, happy area where they're kind of getting pretty good flow. Unfortunately, the flow kind of rips through here, and this octo spawn is kind of getting, beaten by the flow. But overall, they're pretty well placed, I would say, and I'm really happy with the look of the tank. Yeah, I'm kind of going crazy with the Goniopora right now. These Gonies, I got new Gonies from Upper Cumberland Aquatics. So these guys, I'm not sure. This might be Bernardipora or like a shorter Alveopora, something like that. We're going to see the compatibility with all these right here. I'm going to kind of put them close to each other and see if they start stinging the bejesus out of each other, and then see which ones are compatible and clump them together. It's interesting how all the fish kind of came to the side over here because they rarely see me on the side, but Dory is doing wonderful. She's fat and healthy. Those 3 Anthias are doing really well. The Midas Blenny that's floating there is doing really well. The Tamini Tang, Bristle-tooth Tang, is doing awesome. And then Royal Grama, love her, she's doing well. Man, they're all in the frame for some pictures. Nice. You got Char, the Flame Angel, one of the mascots of the channel, and then the Harptail Blenny, and then Prince, the Purple Tang. Come on, where are you at, buddy? There, you can kind of see Prince picking at the rocks. And I have like no algae in this tank because these fish are doing really well with cleaning everything. Same with that Yellow Chorus Wrasse. Don't see any pests in the tank, and I attribute to him and the Mandarin Goby, or Mandarin Dragonette, I should say. They've been doing really well at kind of like cleaning up if there's any, pests in the tank. I am not even aware of it because they're doing such a good job. There's my striped blenny hanging out in the back, and you got Nemo and Maria, the clownfish. I think that's all the fish. I can't believe they're all out right now. This is nuts. I never get that lucky. Now I just got to get a video of the Mandarin Dragonette, and then I got all the fish in a video, which is like a first time ever. And then I got Jacques kind of hanging out the skunk cleaner shrimp. He always hangs out by the Duncans or kind of in the Euphilia corner that I made, and he's doing a really good job cleaning everything. I did put in like 8 peppermint shrimp in here because you remember I did have a little issue when I got a frag that had some Aptasia in it. And I don't know where any of those peppermint shrimp went. I mean, I saw them a little bit and then now they're gone, so who knows where they're at. Oh, the Mandarin Dragonette came out. There he is. My wife's favorite fish. He likes to hide in the shadows, and his favorite spot is right in these neon green toadstool leathers. He is a very elusive fish, Mando, the Mandarin. He's doing really well and the easiest fish ever to take care of. I'm so glad I did the acclimation process and teaching him how to eat frozen bloodworms because he actually will pick on some prepared foods. So if you guys haven't seen that video, check it out. It's an amazing video. It took me a while, but I think you guys are gonna, reap the reward of my hard work. Where'd you go, buddy? There you are. I mean, he's beautiful. I don't think I've ever had him this long in a shot. And then they're just so cool. They kind of just hover over their natural habitat, kind of picking at the rocks for any microfauna. He's just beautiful. I might make this a thumbnail. So overall, what are my levels running at? Right now, I'm pushing 10 DKH, 35 PPT for salinity, and I love that Milwaukee digital refractometer. So awesome. And calcium, my tank consumes a lot of calcium. It is at about 420 on a good day, and sometimes it dips down to 410. Magnesium is actually about 1470. My magnesium always runs high. I'm not quite sure why. And then my nitrates are between 15 to 20, usually about at 15, but my phosphates just keep creeping up. Right now, they are currently at 0.2, and I have to constantly bring them down. Now, I do believe that my phosphates and nitrates did spike a bit because when I did get in that shipment of new corals, I was pumping this tank full of amino acids and target feeding them and using Reef Restore and the organic from Fauna Marin. I was pumping this tank full of nutrients. So I did get a spike. I mean, I was trying to do heavy in and heavy out. The corals did recover much faster, 1000%. They look better, and I can guarantee that if I wasn't doing all that, my corals would not have recovered from all that shipping. So if you saw the last video, you knew that I got a bunch more acros, and they did not do very well in shipping, especially with the dip for Revive. It was kind of shocking how poorly they did. But my levels have spiked because of that, and I did get some cyano, but as you know, ChemiClean is the answer for me. As far as all the equipment goes on the tank, Couldn't be happier with all the pumps. Couldn't be happier with the lights. I love my lighting setup. Let's see if I'm gonna blind you. Not too bad. So far that, Reef Breeder's lumen bar high output or UV is doing really well. I like how it hits the corals on the back where I need higher par, and the radions, they're doing awesome. Those T5 lights actually need to be replaced. They are about 3 years old. So I got 4 more bulbs, so I'll probably replace those. And then that Red Sea Reef LED, I guess it's there and it's working. Just to add a little bit more par. So lights are looking good. Octopulses and gyres are doing really well. Yes, Spencer, you agree. Everything's doing really well equipment-wise. The Reef Octopus Regal Space Saving Skimmer is doing awesome. I just cleaned it out, so that's why it's kind of pulled out a little bit of light skimmate. I just really hate dialing in that gate valve down there. It's a pain in my butt. But overall, skimmer's looking great. Has always been skimming well. It's a skimmer. It's pulling out everything it needs to. I've had to kind of increase the skimmer production because of how much I've been feeding, but I'd rather have a huge skimmer, dial it back, then once I start feeding more, I can dial it back up. Still using like filter floss and quilt batting over top of my my socks, and then I just pitch that away every 2 days, 3 days, and I find that it actually increases the longevity of my filter socks by at least 2 days. So instead of changing out filter socks every 3 days, it's more like once a week for me where I take out the filter socks. Now this was where I had my refugium and the bucket and everything, but now it's just got some media, and I throw, actually the media's in that bag, and then I throw some of the Brightwell like spheres and brick, like little brick particles and stuff in here. So everything is doing really well as far as the media is concerned. I just cleaned all that out. And then the return pump is doing really well as well. The Octopus Various 8, I have that set at like the second from the bottom. I really wish Reef Octopus would update their stuff. Now they finally came out with the Octopulse 4 Plus and the Various 10, and it's got the nice little, more like 0 to 100 controls versus 8 increment steps, which 8 increment steps is really stupid for various pumps. Like, come on, like why would we do that? I think it's actually like 5 increment steps. So a little behind the curve on that Reef Octopus, but your stuff is really good and cheap, I guess, but everything's going up in price. What do you think, Spencer? Prices are too high. So here's my janky dosing setup, but overall this, Calcster that I got from, Vet Reefer, doing awesome still. I'm putting in about 2.5 liters a day in Kalkwasser, fully saturated, and it is doing really well. I actually had to scale it back because I put in, I was doing 4 liters at one point, but that was because my calc was not fully saturated, and then now it's fully saturated and I have to do 2. So always fully saturate your calc, dump in some more when you need to. In fact, I kind of need to do some now. I need to do it once a month and put a little bit more Kalkwasser in. Alright, there's really no way of jazzing this up. This cabinet is a disaster, but we all have like one spot on our reef that's a disaster, and this is it, my dosing section. So right now I have that, this is the Higer Wavemaker that I had done a review on. It's still kicking butt. I put my other J-Bow controller up there, if you can kind of see it. There we go. It's doing really well. Both of those are still kicking. I have a power strip over here, but I have my Red Sea Reef Dose 4 in this area, and I'm just not a Red Sea Reef Dose fan. I've had like way too many connection issues with this thing, and it's just been a pain in my butt. If you lose internet connection, you have to like reset it and everything. I've had to do it probably about 4 times. For $400, I think it's $400 I got on sale, maybe it was $450. It's a pain. I don't really care for it. I should have got 2 Neptune doses because the problem is they only dose up to 1 liter a day. So I was trying to run my Kalkwasser off of it and it didn't work, so I had to use a Versa and bought that from my friend Vet Reefer again. So right now they're just dosing calcium alkalinity and a nitrate solution that does have some it's like potassium nitrate, and it is a calcium nitrate solution. So it doses a little bit of that. Oh wow, you can kind of see that my dosing containers are about empty. So I need to redo my alk and calcium. I dose, about 1/8 185 of calcium a day, and then 170 or 165 of alkalinity a day on top of the Kalkwasser. So yeah, it is definitely a lot to be dosing. So I had to do a firmware update on this when I was talking about it, and I don't know how long it's supposed to have done a firmware, but it didn't even notify me that my containers were low, which they aren't low. It just doesn't go up to the size of my container volume that I have. So I just put the largest size, which is 999, okay, like almost 10 liters. And apparently, my dosing pump has not been dosing for at least 2 days for the calcium and 1 day for the alkalinity. So now it's doing a catch-up dose to do it, even though I didn't get any push notifications or anything for it, which is another reason why I hate this Red Sea Reef dose. It was a bad decision to buy. But honestly, if I've only ever regretted one product I've really bought for this tank, I think that's pretty good. Unfortunately, it's Red Sea, so And for anyone who's an old viewer of the channel, if you remember, my Tiger brand jack stands are still holding nice and strong. So if you have a 200-gallon tank, I highly suggest that you support underneath the house, because that's a lot of weight. All right, guys, so that is my 3-year update on the Shallow Reef. It is looking really good, better than it's ever been. And with all this growth comes new problems. Got to figure out what to do and what I want to do in the future. I want to do more SPS, but man, as you guys know, I just love LPS. It's just really hard for me to get over a mixed reef and try to transition to more SPS, just because I just love all those nice, flowy, stony corals. They're just wonderful, they're meaty, they're fleshy, but I kind of want to do a little bit of a change in the tank. So we'll see in the next couple videos if I redo this area down here, add some more rock work, add like a little fish hotel, add some SPS corals on there. But while we wait for that, you guys can enjoy this video, and you'll be looking out for another video coming soon. If I can get my wife to comment and give a whole commentary about my hobby, I think that's going to be the next video. So guys, it's been 3 years, everything is doing better than ever, and I will see you next time.